Step into the world of the true givers, the true free thinkers. Think big, give big, because once you start doing these things, it would be silly to think small, to give small. My name is Tarab. I make videos about emotional intelligence every day. My mission is to inspire you and the rest of the world to do whatever the fuck you want to do, to be you. Because frankly, we need you. We need all of your energy. Hopefully, you will find this message well. I wrote an essay recently about giving. The reason I came to the conclusion that I was able to give big was because I've been given big opportunity in my life. From a young age, I was taught to think incredibly large, move countries, establish, study, to have big professions, big goals, big networks. And I didn't know this until 27 years of age has gone by, and I got to drive in a Mercedes-Benz that I did not buy. The interesting part of all of this is, you might think to yourself, hey, this guy is just spoiled. He's part of the rich class, he's had a good life, he's had all this shit. Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there. I'm very, very lucky to be in the situation that I'm in currently, sure. I will say, however, that of late, I've taken tremendous responsibility and tremendous action to make sure that I deserve these things. To make sure that not only am I getting these things, but I'm equally giving back to the people that I don't know, and especially to the people that I love. People like you, people that are watching these videos. So, I wanted to talk about taking big risks in life. And the reason I've been thinking about this topic in particular is because for weeks, I've literally been telling my mom not to buy the fucking car. I've been telling her what a stupid waste of money. I mean, you could literally go buy a property for that much money, half that money. You could put that much money down and pay off a property that will eventually be worth 1.5, maybe $1 million in the future, guaranteed. And you will make cash flow to give yourself the freedom to not necessarily even have to work when you do that a couple of different times, do a 1030 exchange, whatever. And she looked at me and she said time and time again, knowing that I'm on this path, knowing that I listen to people like Grant Cardone and Alex Hormozi and Adam Grant and Robert Greene, that I am on a path to build wealth. But her wisdom, the wisdom that I believe she was hooked on to, was not only that life should be enjoyable. You should work hard to eventually pay off, to give yourself the love that you're looking for. Something that I perhaps have been taught passively by her philosophy. But also, that when we buy big things, when we get a beautiful big house, when we spend large amounts of money in general, we get the feeling that, hey, not only do we deserve this, but that we will be able to make this back quite easily. And hopefully be able to give 10 times that amount back to the universe around us. That's at least how I took this message. When I was driving home in the dark in this car, she was too afraid to drive it. And she kept on saying to me, Tarab, I'm buying this car for you. I'm incredibly lucky. First of all, I don't give a shit about Mercedes-Benz. I don't give a shit about most material things that most people will aspire to accumulate wealth in order to accrue. The reason is because I realize they're just things. Because I realize that you can get all these things and you can die tomorrow and be very, very unhappy on your deathbed. And the reason is because the depth of our relationships necessarily won't be all that great. Or perhaps we forgot how important it is to pursue the things that we actually find satisfying in this life. That we have the ability, the knowledge to help people that are coming up behind us avoid a misstep, avoid injuring themselves, avoid the pits of darkness that perhaps we have explored in our lives. Each of us has a tremendous responsibility. The reason I made Tarabify was to communicate this to you. Anything that you've been through in your life, Everything that you've been through in your life has been a journey, a tremendous story, one that could be written in a specific way and probably inspire millions of people. I'm telling you this. Even if you believe that you've maintained a mundane life or that you haven't explored further than the reaches of your immediate city or your immediate family dwelling. The reality of it is that each of our lives is a drop in the ocean, but the drop itself is a universe. Once we begin to understand this about our lives, things change forever. Because we realize how in control we are of the things around us, of the way that we feel, which is the first step, of the way that we act, which is the second step. Well, actually, they're probably one and the same. But then everything starts unfolding around us. Opportunities start coming by. Different conversations start happening. We begin to give energy to people that once perhaps we couldn't touch. Random people, good friends, people we've loved for many, many years. That augmentation, that refraction of life force gives us the energy required to be one with nature itself. You might be thinking to yourself, what the fuck, dude? What a statement. I've been writing a lot, so excuse me. My philosophy is that humans got away for a very long time with believing that we are somehow opposed to nature, that we are somehow greater than nature, that we are somehow alien to the universe itself, by virtue of having the ability perhaps to put it into words or to think about it. But I've always felt this is short-sighted. I've always felt, well, how could someone possibly believe that we are greater than a conserved space, a forest, a river, a tremendous mountain range, the sky itself, the stars? How could anyone possibly think to themselves that they're greater than these things? It's not a matter of greater. It's a matter of being part of it, of being part of the universe, of being part of the river of life, as I've been saying in my essays. If you'd like to check them out, there's some links below, by the way. Hopefully they're enjoyable and useful. But when I say the river of life, I genuinely mean that every particle, every living organism that is flourishing on the planet, and maybe in some other planets, any bacteria, whatever it is, their flourishing is immediately impacted by the amount of effort that that thing puts in, the amount of energy that that thing has, potential or otherwise. Meaning that when we start taking our life for what it is and being grateful for what we're given and really putting in the effort to do exactly what we believe we should be doing, that is being part of the river of life. That is a state that can exist eternally. To a degree, I believe that is the ascent to actualization, to enlightenment itself. Because to love work, to love your work, genuinely, is an incredible gift that you've given to yourself, but also to everyone else around you, because they get to see something that is really miraculous, something that creates energy, something that resonates with the universe around it, and thus is greater than what it immediately took in, or perhaps as great as what it took in, the ripples from other people, the environments, whatever it is. Well, this is getting a bit far-fetched, but hopefully you got the message. You should think big. You should think incredibly big in your life. You should have tremendously big goals. Because the reality is, you are the universe itself. You are the Big Bang. You are the mountain ranges. You are the sky. And they're big. They're big and bold and full of gusto. You understand? Be a part of the river of life. Be one of those water droplets that contributes to that powerful river. And watch the eternal flux that happens in your life. Watch how time begins to warp. Watch how situations begin to warp. Watch how your dreams start speaking to you more. Everyone can achieve this in life. Genuinely. I believe it. Some of us are more likely to get there because we think freely. And I assume the people watching these videos are those people. Hopefully you found this interesting. Watch this video if you have a second. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care.